God, do I love that song. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back on the air. It's Thursday night, 9 p.m. in the evening. The Third and Long podcast is back once again for a little bit of afternoon/evening delight. My name is the incomparable Shane Harris. Above me is my beautiful baby Hope. To my left is my teacher extraordinaire, Mr. Philip Perrins. And in the top corner, the OG of the podcast, Mr. Oliver Butler Henderson. Gentlemen, it's only been a couple of days, but I'd love to know your thoughts and feelings on anything football related or anything at all. Mr. P, my old buddy, what's been going on with you?
Out
your mouth.
So I'm just following my my juice. I am bothered. Yeah. I just realised what I just said. I just said swallowing my own juice.
It goes past 9 o'clock.
It's going to say it's a good job. It's past watershed. I'm all right. I'm just kind of like fed up with this week from like just school being pants and just like the 49ers players dropping like flies and then just the loss, and it's just like, oh, I just want some good news. I just want the 49ers to Yeah, no, it is, but like this is like I talk to you guys every day and I love it. But like I want some good football news for the 49ers, because how miserable was our show on Monday where all our teams lost?
It's a slog, wasn't it? Not just for the viewers and listeners, but for us as well. Baby, I will obviously chuck it to you, my old buddy. How's things?
Yeah, it's been a long week. A long gas week. I was just thinking, I love how every episode starts with that theme tune, which includes Mac Jones telling his coach to fuck off. It's great.
Well, I will be actually. Go on.
When it comes to Mac, can we call him the Great Mac Jones, please? Like, you know how other teams, like I know Bill Parcells had this thing about calling Phil Simms the Great Phil Simms, because that's how, you know, the 49ers would call the Great Steve Young. So I think when we say like the Great Steve Young, we should also mention the Great Mac Jones.
Sorry, the Great McCorkle, in fact. But,
my God, the McCorkle the Great.
Yeah, lovely Lollibees come in saying he said what now? I'd assume that's to Phil's juice comments. But yeah, we have McCorkle the Great telling his coach to fuck off, which is great.
Fantastic.
But yeah, like I said, it's been a long week and I'm really tired.
Good, but yeah. I can say I love that. For all our new listeners, viewers of the show, you know, thank you for popping along. We don't know you, Lolly, but you know, as I said, thanks for popping along, thanks for tuning in. OBH, what's going on with you, bud?
He's on mute and he's not realised.
You've been doing the show almost 4 years. How on mute?
Well, I normally comes off automatically. I don't even know why I'm on mute, but I'm on mute anyway. Yeah, I'm really good, mate. To be fair, 4-day week. I am off tomorrow until Monday, so happy days. And Patriots won't ruin my birthday. Well, they might do actually, but yeah, we'll
big birthday for Hendo this weekend.
No, he did.
65.
Gonna say, yeah, if you want to guess, answers in the comments, if you please.
He's now legally allowed to retire with his state pension.
Nice.
I'm just going to tell this little story. A couple of years ago, we had a show on my birthday, and I was talking to Ollie's son, Finn. And I said to Finn, how old do you think I'm turning? This is my 24th birthday. He said 30.
I believe that too.
And then I said, no, I'm turning 24. And then I said, I'm getting old. And then Finn literally looked at me and said, you might be getting old, but Dad, he's basically a pensioner.
Yeah, I get gypped from my kids every bloody week as well.
So yeah, so if you knew someone who works for a pension company that could help you out, you know.
I do. And it ain't you. I live with her.
Yeah, exactly.
Jack's come in saying you do look 30 to be age, Ollie. Cheers, Jack.
Cheers, Jack.
Oh.
Thanks for that, man. I know, mate. It's I dye the beard grey.
Yeah. We'll all be seeing Jack in a couple of weeks in London.
We will be. Right. Let's roll on to Monday Night Football. So Kirk Cousins Cousins Chained, whatever he called himself, is back, what a 2-minute drive it was to win that game. But how poor was that Eagles defense as well, letting them have those chunk plays every time. Baby Hope.
I want to talk about that 3rd and 3 call.
Go on then.
It was it's 3rd and 3.
Yep.
There's 146 to go.
Yep.
You're up by 3, 3rd and 3 on the opponent's 10-yard line. Why are you throwing the ball? You're up by, with less than 2 minutes to go. You've got the ball 10 yards from the other side's goal line. Run the clock.
Not only that, but you've got a good run offense in that.
Yeah, you have Saquon Barkley. You have the second best running back in the league.
The play he dropped. That play.
Yeah, the one he dropped.
Yeah, that play. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say it is probably going on the fact of right. Okay, let's play a little bit of Houdini. Let's not do the obvious play. Bang, bang. Like the Super Bowl did, like the Seahawks did in the Super Bowl, where they started giving it to Marshawn Lynch. They decided to throw it.
And that worked out so well for them.
Yeah. It's one of those weird things where do what you are doing well in that game. They were running the ball well in that game.
And then as you said, their defense disintegrated and Kirk Cousins drove down the field.
It was really poor because literally.
Just quickly, Holly's come in saying, "Hey Shane, hope you're well. It's been a while."
Oh, hiya, Hall. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, I mean, so I personally, I think Mr. Pennington absolutely ripped the Eagles defense apart last year because for someone who's played secondary, they were shocking. It's like literally have 20-yard bombs, have 20-yard bombs, you have 20-yard bombs. It's like literally one of the worst defensive back plays I've ever seen in the league. And it was that again. It literally did go, right, okay, have an easy first down, have an easy first down, have an easy first down. Mr. P.
A lot of what the Eagles had last year, it was almost like little league football, as in every single player on that front seven was just blitzing and trying to get to the quarterback, which creates this space between the linebackers and the secondary where you essentially get the bombs. Because if you probably look at the average yards of a passing play that the Eagles went up against last season, you'll find that it'll be between 12 to 18 yards per passing play attempt, on average. Their secondary was completely exposed because their front seven was almost every single play. Instead of run blocking, pass blocking, they literally just blitz. And that's where you create this kind of gap in between, your linebackers and secondary, like I said. But they haven't even learned their lessons. That's literally how they capitulated last year. And it almost feels like, oh, we've got Saquon now, so we'll just outscore the other team. And historically, teams that do that don't tend to go very far. If your whole point is to, well, our defense isn't going to stop them, so we're just going to have to outscore them, you're going to get undone. And that's how I feel the Eagles ended last season. I mean, just look how when they played the 49ers, and the 49ers embarrassed them. And that was eventually their downward turn into when they were one and done in the playoffs. Because they then got battered by the Cowboys, and they didn't finish the season well, the regular season well. And that first game where Saquon's just tearing it up, and he was my player of the week that week as well, I think. Or was it? Yeah, I think he was. And the second week, Saquon's not playing all that, and then their defense just capitulates, and that could be a recurring theme for the Eagles this year. And that's not me trying to be an arsehole to them. That's just fact.
Yeah, I completely agree. Baby Hope.
I want to talk about Kirk.
Go on, then. Yeah,
he played well, but I did feel like for the first 3 quarters, he was playing thinking about his leg. I feel like he was playing more conservatively than he did last season. But obviously, he's 35 and he's coming back from a torn Achilles, so that makes sense. But I feel like he needs to free up a bit and stop thinking about his leg if he wants to take these Falcons as far as they can go.
Yeah, I don't want to interject too much tonight, but I agree with you there. And just like someone who, because I broke my leg playing our football, like our soccer,
You
and
did.
I broke my right leg, and being a goalkeeper, my stronger side to dive on was always on my right hand side, and when I would dive out at players, I'd go right knee first. And for the first couple of years after I broke my leg, and as I was trying to get back to like full fitness and everything, having that in my head that my legs broke before, it could happen again. And even though I'm trying to play the same, my body's not the same. And you're the same, Hendo, because like you played professionally, so like your injury was more severe than me because I was just in an academy. Like I was just in an academy when I broke my leg, so that was kind of like my professional hopes down the drain. And I mean I still play 11 aside to this day, and I ended up playing American football. But going back onto the point, exactly what you said, like he's 36, he's a couple of years older than me. He had a horrible injury. I mean, bear in mind, he's never really had a significant injury, as in a season-ending injury. And him coming back from this, and with the idea that the Falcons have already drafted his replacement already, he's going to have this in his head of, well, if it happens again, I'm done. Like, there's no off-season and I'm back again. I'm done. Like, this is my last big move. And I could see Father Time, ticking on in his head going, Aaron Rodgers, he's pretty much cooked. You look at like other players in that, because is he the second highest? So is he the second oldest starting quarterback in the league now?
Got to be. If not the oldest.
No.
Aaron is.
Oldest. Sorry, yeah.
But yeah, he must be the second oldest quarterback in the league, and he is going to be very tentative, especially up until maybe they're gone.
How old's Dalton?
Oh yeah, sorry. Yeah, but he's not starting. He's not a starter.
Dalton is a starter now.
He is now.
No, he is now, but like he didn't go into the season, and he hasn't been a starter since Cincinnati. Like when he's bounced around the league, he's been backup, and then he's been forced in due to poor play elsewhere. But like we're talking like the starting, like when we ranked the starting 32 quarterbacks at the beginning of the season. None of us mentioned Dalton until this week, where he's going to come in for the Panthers because the Panthers are just the Panthers. They are. It's been such a long. Maybe since actually, even when the Lions went 0-16, I don't think the Lions were as bad as the Panthers currently are.
No, hell no. The Lions always had that fight about it. That one.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, Mr. Harris. Before we go,
thank you. I was going to say thank you very much. If you ignore me, I'm sorry about that. Just 2 quick points. That's all. Just 2 quick points. We do like a flutter on this league. Myself, Baby was the most luckiest person I've ever met in my whole entire life. And
it's called actually researching.
You earn more from bets than I earn a monthly paycheck, and that's absolutely true. Right. So, and OBH likes a flutter as well. But then one thing I'm trying to say when I relate to this is you can't pick this league. Who on earth had Atlanta beating Philadelphia on Monday night?
We didn't.
Not people.
No.
Not many people. Exactly. Not pick this league. That's what makes it so exciting and unpredictable. And my second is you mentioned about Kirk Cousins, sort of keeping his eye on injury and that sort of thing. Speaking from somebody who's only exercise I get jumping to conclusions, I've never broken any bones in my life, plenty of hearts but no bones. I wouldn't know what it's like, but I can completely understand it must change your mindset 100% when you've got in the back of your mind all the rehab you've done, all the repairing you've done to an injury. It's always going to be a case of, will it happen again?
So Lolly has said, I'm new to NFL. I've got a question, semi-relevant to you talking about age. What age do players tend to retire? I think, Lolly, that really depends on the position.
So
because running backs tend to retire a lot earlier due to like the amount of stress their bodies put through, whereas quarterbacks, who people sell their soul to protect, tend to have slightly longer careers.
Linemen as well tend to have, offensive linemen tend to have really long careers as well.
Yeah. I mean, well, Tom Brady is one of the oldest players who ever played the league game, and he was 44 when he retired. Adam Vinatieri, was 46, and Adam Vinatieri is a kicker who played for the Colts and the Patriots. But yeah, some players decide just want to call it a day really early. I mean, there's been a few in the offseason called it 29. The average age in the NFL, or the average career in the NFL, is 4 years.
Yeah.
So,
And as I said, someone who's new to the sport, the quarterback is the one that passes the ball, hands it off to the running back. So yeah, he basically is the captain of the team, the focal point of the franchise. So yeah, hopefully we've cleaned that up for you. If you do have any further questions, we know how people to find.
yeah, and make sure you support the Patriots.
I don't even know this girl, but I've already texted her. One of these she wants, a purple one.
Right. Let's start off with plays of the week this week before we go on to players of the week. So each week I harass these guys, especially this one, for the plays of the week. So we have chosen this week's plays of the week.
So far in the Viking defense, 2nd down 9. Darnold getting messy, going deep, and he's got Jefferson. It's a foot race downfield with Brown. Shifting gears, getting a block. That's 6.
Just going to elevate them, and we trust them.
It's a fake over the middle, and it's caught. Sione Baki with a first down. Jack Fox's 4th complete pass in the National Football League. A strike to Baki. And the rookie from Utah gets a first down on the fake.
2nd and 14. About right. Again, going down the field, and what an interception! My goodness, Cam Taylor-Britt.
Gain it here on 2nd down.
Pressure coming. They set up a screen. Oh, there's a lot of room. Alvin Kamara, room to roll. Alvin Kamara's going to score. Touchdown.
Yeah, so Mr. Perrins chose the fake punt by the Lions, which I didn't realize it was so close to their end zone. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Mr.
Who
Harris
doesn't love a trick play? Who genuinely doesn't love a trick play?
Yes, love a trick play. Mr. Harris took Kamara's 57-yard catch and run.
I love in that there's that guy celebrating, and then he thinks, "Oh crap, I have to throw a block now." So he kind of throws a block mid-celebration.
So Baby Hope took Cam Britt's brilliant one-handed catch. To quote OC, it was the gloves. And
I'm not sure if you've seen on Twitter, but NFL tweeted that video, and they had that on one side and OBJ's one-handed catch on the other side.
I haven't, but it was a brilliant catch. And I took Justin Jefferson's 97 yards.
You are such a prick.
Jack has put skull and then said the Vikings tight end blocking for Jefferson at the end zone.
Was that who it was? I couldn't work out who that guy was running down there. It's like, who the fuck was that? He's quick. No, I took that, not just to wind you up originally.
You fucking did that, didn't you?
No, that's to wind you up. But no, I mean, to be fair, it was a brilliant throw. It went.
I've already got
into the end zone when you let go of that.
I've already got Breece Hall as my player of the week for next week.
Sorry?
I've already got Breece Hall as my player of the week for next week.
What, getting snapped up by our Keon White? Right.
No. When he puts Keon White on his ass and runs into the end zone.
So, we actually have a tie for player of the week.
Ooh, do we?
Yes. So we have 2 players on 17% and 2 players on 33%. Really need more people voting in these votes. Please vote. Our Twitter handles at the Third and Long UK pod. We roll it across the bottom at the end of the show, so please vote on them.
It literally is just a click, boys and girls. It literally is just a click. We're not asking you to donate to our Patreon yet, but just click on the link.
Yeah.
Mr. Parents is opening up a special page for the female fans.
Oh, Third Long After Dark. Boys, I only match, so maybe I should do it. No, let's not do that. No, you're all right.
No, I mean, they'll give money back, mate. Right.
I know.
Right. So with 17% was my pick was James Cook with his 3 touchdowns against Miami Dolphins. Brilliant play. He had run into and received one, so that's absolutely brilliant. Mr. Harris, your player was Max Crosby.
Had to be. That game I watched, he was everywhere. Honest to God. He's going to be a Raiders legend. He is. He made everything look so difficult. He was running through our own line like they were turnstiles. It was ridiculous. LJ didn't have enough time to get the ball off or do anything of any note. He was everywhere. Definitely my player of the week.
Yeah. And you two can argue over who's going to win it this week. It was Mr. Parents took Hutchinson and Baby Hope took Alvin Kamara.
I mean, it's hard. Do you know what? Shall we just like shake hands on this baby and say Alvin Kamara, offensive player of the week, Aiden Hutchinson, defensive player of the week?
Yeah, I'm happy to accept that.
Yeah,
see, and this is what happens with 49er fans. We don't argue. We just agree and move on. 49er5.
Oh my God, done.
Yeah, well, I've got some breaking 49er news that I don't really want to say, but I will later in the. Okay, we'll do that when we get to injuries because there's some more injuries for some Niners players.
CMC out for the season. Madden curse strikes again.
Oh no! It's another player. It's 2 more players that are quite influential that might not play this weekend.
Oh man!
Right. Let's do it.
This is the news in 60.
Yeah, it is news in 60 time again. And it started off with a trouncing, and then it went to another trouncing, and then it went to 17 trouncings last season. And Carolina Panthers have probably done the right thing in the end and benched Bryce Young. I think personally this is a great benching for him for learning one. Going forward, the Chiefs have signed their former running back, Kareem Hunt. He left the team in 2019 after 2 years originally. He has come back after more injuries. And yes, the injury list has grown again. Obviously, Christian McCaffrey is out. IR. Ron Bentley is out. Season-ending Patriots pass rusher. Tyson Campbell, the Jags defensive back, out. Hamstring, IR. Pacheco, broken fibula, 8 to 6 weeks out, IR. Puka Nacua, knee, IR. Joanne Jackson, Rams starting right tackle, out. Broken collarbone.
OBH, before we continue, can we just sort of say like what IR means for the uneducated people that don't actually know?
Yeah, I'll do it in a minute.
Okay.
Yeah, so shut your mouth, Shane.
Tua is now placed on IR after his concussion. Cooper Kupp out, but not placed on IR. Deebo Samuel out. Jermaine Johnson III out. Quincy Williams out. Graham Gano out.
CJ Mosley out.
And George Kittle, did I see?
George Kittle and Mooney Ward are both not practicing today and are both questionable for the Rams game.
Yeah. So people
a big,
who don't watch,
another big offensive injury for the Niners and a big defensive injury. Both all pros.
So for the people who are new to the sport, IR is known as injured reserve. Hence our name of this week's show is the injured reserve all stars, which I'm really disappointed in, Shane. We didn't do something.
We should have.
So IR means injured reserve. So it basically means you're out and you're put into basically a 4-week rest period. You're given a minimum of 4 weeks out. You're not allowed to practice play for 4 weeks. And then once you're taken off IR, you're given 2 weeks to be put into the active roster again. But you could stay on IR for the whole season if you want. If your injury, it doesn't matter. But yeah, so basically, it's a way to bring another player into your roster that doesn't mean you use the roster as well.
It's important to say that if you're an injury reserve, you don't count onto the active roster of 53.
No.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And finally, as of yesterday, the 2025 Hall of Fame nominees have been added. 10 cornerbacks, 31 running backs, 21 receivers, 6 tight ends, 26 O-line, 18 D-line, linebackers 20, defensive backs 18, kickers, punters 15, special teamers 2. Gentlemen, we have to start, I think, with the IR situation because this is getting quite bad. I do not remember a season when it's been like this bad.
I feel like we say this every season now.
Yeah. But this is getting quite serious. I mean, I'm looking at the list here in front of me. There's a list. Notable players on IR. Tua, CMC, Pacheco, Nakua, Marquise Brown, Matt Milano, DeForest Buckner, Derek Brown, JJ McCarthy, DeJuan Bland. And then you've got loads of players on PUP. Cup, Cooper Cup, Jonathan Brooks, Keon Mitchell, Odell, Kendrick Bourne, TJ, Tyler Higbee, and the list goes on. It is ridiculous how many players are hurt at the moment. Mr. P.
It's almost like a double-edged sword because from a fan perspective, and we're saying that we want to see our teams have their best possible chance of winning it. We want to see the superstars. We want to see a CMC. We want to see Debo. We want to see Kittle. We want to see Ward. And it's the same with our respective teams. The Dolphins want to see Tua. And the Rams want to see Puka and all the ones that comes with it. So it's frustrating. But then when you take a step back and have a look at all the parameters that come with it, the first thing is it the training methods? Is it the practice fields? Is it the intensity of the NFL schedule? And then when you take a step back again and you look at the NFL as a whole, isn't that what we want from the NFL in terms of the physicality of it? Because we mentioned about the games getting soft, the rules are getting soft. So when we see players go down through injury, is it part of the course because of the nature of the sport? I mean, I'm not one or the other. I mean, I would prefer my players to not be injured, but is it down to how many of these might be ACL injuries or foot injuries or leg injuries? Because then we can maybe make that case again about the actual turf. I mean, CMC's position, his role is to essentially run as fast as he can and then get absolutely nailed. So are we absolutely shocked that when he's gone down with injury, it's down to his ACLs? So it's that's kind of it. It's a double-edged sword, isn't it? It's the physicality of the league, but also the intensity of the training and the games, and it's just insane this year, absolutely insane. And I'm surprised at the fact that the league is going through this, not necessarily like an expansion, but these extra games that they're putting in place. I'm surprised that the NFL Players Association, the union, aren't threatening strike action, because we're hearing that over here in our country with our football players who are potentially looking into striking towards FIFA and UEFA because of all the games that they're playing. I'm surprised similar things aren't being discussed in the NFL because of, essentially the same kind of things.
Yeah, baby hope.
I think there's just a small point, but I think the fact that it's week 2 does affect this. So I think some teams are putting people on IR for precaution, because would you rather they were out week 2 or would you rather they were out in January?
Yeah, I get that.
Like that. I think CMC probably could play if he was needed, but it's week 2 and we're probably expected to make a deep run into the playoffs. So I'd rather he was fit in January.
And to be fair, Jordan Mason has been more than a capable backup to him.
Yeah, I mean, I think there is a combination of factors that the players are a lot bigger, a lot faster, and a lot stronger than they were 10 years ago. Boy, do they hit hard. We've seen, it's like we sit high up in the stands and you can hear the crunch as it goes. And people say, you wear all the paddings and all that. There's a reason they wear all the paddings. You go on more scenes like Tua where his handing up in the air because he's concussed again. There is, I think there is effect of it. And yes, I do think the turf is an effect of it, because the ones that play on natural grass don't seem to get as many injuries unless they're playing on the Astro, on the turf, or mixed turf. Obviously, there is 10 stadiums, NFL stadiums, that have been have to change to natural grass for the World Cup next year. 2 years' time?
Yeah, they do.
2 years' time. That'd be interesting after that, because when I spoke to the people in New England, they're changing their turf in the off-season. So that Astros gone from New England is going to be grass. So it's going to be interesting to see how it affects injuries going forward there in that way as well. Shayna, you the gentleman who's known for losing running backs.
100%, yeah.
And quarter runners.
Well, you've already got to look at last year. There's a reason why J.K. Dobbins is playing for the Chargers now, because he couldn't stay fit for us. He was made of glass. I think he tore his ACL in the first game of last season. Didn't play a game after that. Didn't play another game as a Raven. And they had to basically change their strength and conditioning coach after that, because it was the fact that, no one knew what was going on. It may have been the turf, may have been the strength and conditioning coach. They were trying everything, but thus far, touch wood, we've been okay so far. I mean, I've seen the injury report for this week. Kyle Hamilton looks a little bit suspect, but other than that, just a couple of rookies. It's nothing major. Even Kyle Van Noy played last week after he fractured his orbital socket against Kansas City. But I mean, I mean, if you look at Mark Andrews, he was in a car accident, and Nate Wiggins was in a car accident. I don't know what they're doing in Baltimore, but they need to sort of open their eyes and watch the road a bit more. I mean, it's been well documented about MetLife and what the turf is like. And as OBH said, with the World Cup coming up next year, that needs to be altered. Can you imagine if that injured someone like Erling Haaland or somebody massive? You know what I mean?
FIFA aren't allowing AstroTurf. They have to play on natural grass.
Well, that's the cost of to change it, isn't it?
Yeah.
1.2 million dollars is costing New England.
But then you put that into account of how much money the NFL and the New England Patriots generate. I mean, it's when you put that into perspective, like, it's going to cost them, like you said, 1.2 million. But how much of the New England Patriots as an organization bring in every year? It dwarfs that.
Yeah. Oh, completely. Yeah. Okay, Bryce Young. I have never felt so sorry for a rookie quarterback than this young man. You have 0.2 seconds in the pocket. You have half a wide receiver to throw the ball at, and yet you're expected to do miracles. And I've seen so many people ridicule him for going, well, it's because he's on his toes. It's because he's doing this. It's because he's doing this. Yes, he's a 6'1" quarterback or 6 foot quarterback. Yes, he's slight. Kyler Murray's 5 foot something and is probably in the top 10 at the moment as top 10 quarterback in the league. I think they're doing the right thing by benching him. Gentlemen, baby hope.
I don't think Bryce Young will play in the National Football League for the Carolina Panthers again.
Wow, what a big joke.
Often when they drop someone, it's like we're dropping him for a week to get his head right, and then he'll be back. Dave Canales did not say that. He basically said, for the good of the team, I am dropping Bryce Young. And honestly, I think I can't see Bryce Young wanting to play for the Carolina Panthers again. And I can't see the Carolina Panthers wanting Bryce Young to play for him again. For the good of his career, for the good of his confidence, and for the good of the Carolina Panthers organization, I think they need to trade him as soon as they can for whatever they can get.
They gave the house up for him as well. Mr. P.
They did.
I mean, I'm trying to think in recent times of an organization that's drafted a quarterback so high only to set them up to fail. Like, I'm thinking of, Wilson. Or, I mean, I didn't want to say Trey Lance.
Of course you're going to say Trey Lance.
But then with Trey Lance, he wasn't really in the spotlight because he was back up for Jimmy, so he wasn't expected to start. And then when he did start, he got injured, and then he lost his place to Brock Purdy. But maybe Zach Wilson in New York, where he was set up to fail. Sam Donald as
Yeah,
well. Like,
Jack
I
said
don't.
Danny Dimes, but I don't think Danny Dimes was set up to fail. I think he's just a
Danny
bad
Dimes.
quarterback.
He's
Yeah,
behind Eli for a couple of years.
Yeah, and let's not forget, like Danny Dimes tried his hardest. He got paid, and now he doesn't have to try anymore. That's literally it. That's what I also think this is a negative as well when players get that guaranteed paycheck. It's almost like the dog in them just decides to sit down and just let it happen. Like I just think with Bryce Young, he's been set up to fail in an organization in his rookie year. Yet there's a reason why he was drafted so high, because the Panthers were such a bad team. They're not really expected to turn around so quickly. And then in the off season, they drafted high again because they were the worst team in the NFL, and now they haven't really changed. They're still making the same mistakes, and I feel so sorry for him because
didn't have the first round pick, so they couldn't improve.
First round pick.
Sorry, yeah, but like they still didn't in the off season make any adjustments to help him out on the offensive line, whether or not to give him some protection, some extra weapons. And I don't know enough about him, and when I've seen him play for the Panthers, he hasn't really impressed me. But I don't know whether or not that's the environment, the coaching. I mean, just not that we're his biggest fans on the show, but like Trevor Lawrence under Urban Meyer in his first season was horrific. His second season with a coach that knows what he's doing, he improved. He got to the playoffs. Yeah. So we actually saw that there was a quarterback in there. We haven't seen if Bryce Young's had that ability. And I like you said, baby, I don't think he'll start again for the Panthers. And I think he'll be out the door. Like he'll go somewhere else and be a backup somewhere and probably quite happily be out that spotlight for a little bit. Similar to what's happened with Geno, and similar to what's happened now with Sam Darnold.
Yeah, exactly. Same that happened. Well, Baker.
And Baker, yeah. Jesus Christ.
And then
Jared Goff.
Yeah, exactly. Shame.
Boys, back to what Phil was saying about guaranteed contracts, and Phil would know this as well. A guaranteed contract may be the death of the NFL, because they were the death of WCW, if you remember. So when people started getting guaranteed contracts off their shop, they stopped caring. They just phoned it in every week. And now, it may be a little different with Bryce Young, because he's like a deer in the headlights at the minute. But you watch the Cowboys do nothing. You watch the Packers do nothing, because they've all got their bags. And it's the same with Trevor Lawrence.
I think it's different with Dallas, and I think it's different with Trevor as well. Dallas want to win. They want to get this voodoo off their back, monkey off their back, the voodoo off. They want to win, and I don't think Dak Prescott is the type of person to. I got my money now. Woo! Off we go. I don't think he's that kind of person. Watching on Hard Knocks a couple of years ago, I didn't get the impression that he was that kind of guy. He will still keep that fight going, because I just think he's that kind of guy. But I do get what you mean. There are players that go, I've got my 250 odd million. Yeah. One of them's a quarterback and likes massages.
Famous case, a certain ex-Raider who got his money and he never decided to actually try again. And then the first chance they got rid of him. And then the NFL changed the whole contracts thing with first-round players and guaranteed money. So, Jamarcus Russell, for those who aren't in the know, he literally got paid and then he did nothing. Deshaun Watson is potentially, and again, I said to you guys, there was no what was the actual phrasing that I used, Hendo, about Deshaun Watson and what the Browns put in his contract?
It was a clause, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was basically a clause that if he was charged for anything in his first 2 years there, he couldn't be cut, but now he's in his third year.
He can be cut.
And this new one's come out, yeah.
Yeah.
That's bonkers. That's absolutely bonkers.
Right. Over to the Hall of Fame players. We've been very argumentative. Well, not argumentative. Let's
discussion. Educated discussion.
Yeah, that's a good way of going. Right, well, he's definitely going to win it. He's definitely going to win it. It's going to be definitely him. I'm going to say my favourite of this, and not because he's a Patriot, is Willie McGinnis. That guy has to be in the Hall of Fame. He was one of the best players I've ever seen play the game.
But Willie's not for first ballot. Willie's been there before. Eli Manning, Joe Staley haven't been there before.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, Tony Romo is another one. He's
He
okay.
won't
Yes,
make the
never
Hall of
did
Fame.
anything, but he was a bloody good quarterback. There are some bloody good players in this one here, and I love it. I mean, let's have you said Suggs, did you say?
Yes, I did. Yes, I'm Marshall Yonder. 100% deserve it.
It's
Staley's
obviously
better than Yonder though.
We had this discussion. We both know that's not true. And also, Jamal Lewis is here as well, who is a Ravens record rushing leader, and I think he deserves it too.
We know what this is like. This is like Shane and Strombo.
We all know he's wrong with. We all know he's wrong with that, and we all know he's wrong with this.
I mean, I'm glad Vince Wilfork's in there. I mean, personally, because he's one of my favorite players ever.
The person I'd like to see get this that's not played for the 49ers is Vinatieri.
Oh, the greatest kicker of all time.
Yeah.
Adam Vinatieri. Vern Davis, Antonio Gates, two that should be in there. Where's Welker?
Love it.
Bloody.
Where's Welker? Somewhere else I'd like to see get in there.
Mr. P?
Doug Flutie.
I heard something, but I didn't see anything.
Sorry.
Nothing
Doug
happened.
Flutie. Sorry.
Nothing happened.
I was just getting my prediction games written down on a piece of paper. Doug Flutie. Literally the greatest backup quarterback ever. Like, honestly, he was amazing. The amount of times I would watch America's game and, like, the starting quarterback would go down and then Doug Flutie just popped up and just saved the day. Like, don't get me wrong, by no means is he an Eli Manning or a Vince Wilfork or a Joe Staley or even a Jared Allen. I see that he's up. But just the idea that he's 61 years old, he has a storied career in the NFL, and and he's not like your superstar player, but he is known in the league. He has a legend about him. For newer people, it is kind of like having the Fitz magic, okay? But like that's almost like the equivalent of it. And I would love to see Doug Flutie in the NFL Hall of Fame, get his bust, be acknowledged.
Oh, completely. I wish they'd changed the name.
Thank you for the Fitz magic reference, because I didn't know who Doug Flutie was.
Oh, it's fine. It is fine. What do you say you didn't know?
I didn't know.
Oh, okay.
I've seen a couple of American games with him, and this dude was insane. Absolutely insane. I love it. Right. Let's roll on to week 3. Finally, we are at week 3, and let's start off with this week's predictions. The current table standings are Baby Hope in the lead with 7, myself and Mr. P with 5, and Shano's already dropping off with 4. So, Mr. Perrins, would you like to give us the games that you have chosen and your reasoning? And before we give you that, I'm scared. I sent a text message to Shano and Baby Hope saying, I bet Perrins picks these games. Wednesday night, sent a text message. And the other 4 games that I picked, and it's like, oh my God, I'm scared that I know Perrins too well.
It's true. All right, so do you want me to say the fixture and then do our predictions, or do you want me to read them all out?
Do fixture then predictions, I think.
Okay, so I typically tend to pick the games that are very, very difficult to call, but then since my friends know me ever so well, there's obviously there's some long-standing teams that are in this. Okay, so game number 1 for us to predict, gentlemen, is the lowly Carolina Panthers taking on the Las Vegas Raiders. And then we have the Detroit Lions taking on the ever-flying Arizona Cardinals.
Could like that one.
And then we have the lowly Eagles taking on the Second City Saints, the New Orleans Golden Black. And then speaking of the Golden Black, we have the yellow and black of Pittsburgh taking on the blue and yellow of Los Angeles, the Chargers.
Cool. Nice. So,
I like it.
Let's start off with the Raiders game. Baby Hope, you are leading the way, so you will go first, my friend.
I mean, we just spent 20 minutes burying the Panthers. I'm going Raiders.
That's very true. I'm going the same. I can't see any other way, even with the Red Robin under center. I can't see
The
any
Red Rifle.
Mr. P.
It's quite cold outside, and
I know it's
win.
I just want to
Really
say
good.
that the autumn wind is a raider, and so am I in this instance. Raiders.
Shane,
Look, just knock this Niners lies, this Niners facade on the head. Just get it. Silver and black jersey. My respect for you will go up exponentially. Right? Just believe in who you are. Don't lie to us anymore. Okay? So, as I was saying, I'm going to forego my Hollywood Garden of Minshew hyperbole this week, even though he did prove me right again last week. You've got to go Raiders again. Max Crosby is captain of that team. I'm going Raiders all the way.
Nice. I'm sure I heard something about him saying a Bulger and the Big Fella that he was a Raiders fan more than a Niners fan.
He is a Raiders fan.
You sorry sacks both know the history with me and the Raiders. Okay, I love the Raiders, but I love the Niners more. Come on.
Yeah, you have Newcastle. You also have TNS as well.
Hey mate, TNS are releasing their own gin and they're playing in Europe. What's Manchester United doing?
I know
this
you
week?
sent me the picture.
We beat Barnsley 7-0. That's Bolton.
We did up around.
Yeah, well, we all know Bolton are terrible this season, and actually we beat Barnsley last year 3 times.
Right, let's roll on to the second game of the selection. It is Detroit Lions against the Arizona Cardinals. Mr. Hope, it is you first because you're leading the way, sir.
I mean, we all love Dan Campbell on this show.
Yeah.
And Detroit had a little hiccup last week, but I think that they're just better than Arizona, so I'm going Detroit.
Mr. P.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think my household would do well if I literally back the Cardinals in this instance. I think the Cardinals are playing well, but in typical Cardinal form, I do think that the result that they got against the Rams might be a little bit too ego fluffing, considering that the Rams are having a pretty hard-hitting injury crisis at the moment. But I'm not going to bet against Detroit. I'm going to go Lions, especially Aiden Hutchinson's first quarter performance where he destroyed Baker Mayfield. It's just in of itself. So yeah.
I mean, Baker did get his own back when he actually put Rodrigo on the ground with that filthy sidestep.
Yeah, that was pretty sexy, wasn't it?
It's one of the sexiest things I've ever seen. I'm the same with you, Mr. Perrins, that if I went against Detroit, I have a little girl that wouldn't be very happy with me, and I don't think her mother would be too impressed with me either. So I am backing Detroit on this one as well. But I do completely agree that you say that. I mean, yes, Arizona were outstanding last week against LA, but LA have got more injuries and then Newcastle did last season.
Yeah, I mean, let's keep this in mind that LA have a very young team because they had to rebuild because of obviously going all in with the Super Bowl. So they've got a young, inexperienced team anyway. And on top of that, that young, inexperienced team are now massively injury hit, and their experienced players are also injury hit as well. So it's not a particularly good soup. Okay, it's not a great broth in LA at the moment.
No, it's not the best, is it? Mr. Harris, you get the privilege of choosing last because you are last. So you get to hear all the answers and all the questions.
Lovely. I really wanted to go Cardinals to pull off an upset because the Lions didn't look impressive last week apart from Hutchinson. But I can't. I just can't. You know, Cardinals are going to Cardinal. You know, they're not going to keep this up for the rest of the season. Don't tell Kurt I said this, but I got to go Lions. I can hear him. Shut up. I can hear him downstairs.
He said Arizona are the worst team in the NFL, mate.
They're playing on the Ravens at the minute.
Right, okay. So let's roll over to the Philadelphia Eagles, who are 1-1 against the New Orleans Saints, 2-2. I think this way it might start changing up. Baby Hope.
So, I can't trust Derek Carr and Dennis Allen. I just can't. I just can't trust them. I trust Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts more. So, I'm going to trust that somehow the Eagles defense is going to, Big Fangio is going to work some magic this week, sort out the Philadelphia Eagles defense, and I'm going to have them to go in and knock off New Orleans at the Caesars Superdome.
I'm going to completely and utterly disagree with you. I ridiculed that secondary from Philadelphia so much in the 2 games and the last season. They are one of the worst secondary units I've seen in professional football for a long, long, long time. I think I could do a better job than some of those cornerbacks did last season.
What about Big Play Slay, though?
But I do like Alvin Kamara's got his groove back. Shaheed looks good. You know, they look so much better this season with a new OC than they have done in a long time. Derek Carr's playing really well. He's second in the league in yardage thrown. He's second in the league in touchdowns thrown. The only person who's ahead of him is Baker Mayfield.
Brock Purdy's ahead of him too. Brock Purdy's got the most passing yards so far.
Oh, is it? The start I saw was him and Baker. So I'm going New Orleans for the win. Mr. P.
Do you know what? I was actually going to say that despite the fact that we tore apart the Eagles earlier, that I thought that the Eagles might get the W here, because at some point Derek Carr is going to collapse in on himself, because that's what he has historically always done. When he's had a really great season with the Raiders in the past, he's then collapsed, whether or not through injury or just through form. But then you talked me around to it. I do think that with that Eagles defense being heavily questionable and Derek Carr having great form at the moment, he's really good at picking those, those 10, 15, 18-yard passes that, players run in, for really significant yardage. And the Saints have looked really good. They are 2-0 for a reason. They destroyed the Cowboys, who have invested hugely in Dak alone, and Derek Carr just made him look like he was just playing middle league football or middle league flag. So I'm going to go with the Saints. But now saying that, no, I'm going to go with the Saints.
Yeah, Mr. Harris.
Toot. That means I'm aboard the Saints hype train. Yeah. I have no idea where it's come from, but you can't look past them at the minute. They've been phenomenal. They took apart the Cowboys, as Phil's already alluded to. And yeah, I mean, in the Silver Dome, they've got the home advantage as well. So they've got to win. Yes, Mr. P.
So, and just this as well. If the Saints win this week, I will guarantee you that next Thursday, we could possibly get the Saints GM on the show.
Oh, please.
Yeah, boy. Yes. Right.
He likes good press. And if they're on a really good win streak and they're 3-0, he'll happily come on our show.
Yes. Right. Last game of the prediction games. It is the Los Angeles Chargers against Shane's favorite team, the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I'm going to let Shane, I'm going against the road because it is Shane's divisional rivals. You are going to have the first pick, my friend.
Oh, my heart wants to say everything bad about those horrible towel twirling bastards. But you just... No, do you know what? Fuck it. Chargers, J.K. Dobbins revenge tour. I can smash him up. J.K. Dobbins and the Gus Bus. Come on, just do it. Fuck them. Smash him up. Yes. Chargers for the win.
What a heel turn.
Baby hope.
I agree. I think the Chargers are going to win.
Yes, boy.
I think they're going to run the ball down the Pittsburgh Steelers' throats. Fields isn't having a great season. I mean, how many touchdowns have Pittsburgh actually scored this season? Exactly.
I think it's one. I think that was a rushing one as well.
Yeah, exactly. I think that they're going to run the ball down Pittsburgh's throats.
Yeah. If that's one good thing that Roman's good at, is drawing up really good run plays. He's followed John Harbaugh around like the league. He was our offensive coordinator in San Francisco. he knows how to press that run game.
Yeah, definitely. Does that mean you're going for LA as well, Mr. P?
I don't want to, but I will go Chargers. I will go Chargers.
Good lad.
Yeah. So Pittsburgh haven't played well. They really haven't, and Justin Fields has just done enough to get. They're 2-0, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just enough to get to 2-0, and it's gonna fall. It's completely different to New Orleans, where you could see them losing. If Knicks hadn't thrown that drop back and thrown that pick, they would have lost to Broncos last week. So I am going to make it a 4-way and go for LA as well, I think. I mean, this is a bit of a boring prediction week this week.
We like to see this. This is good.
Yeah. Right. Let's go on to the rest of the third week 3 games, which do start in about 3 hours. Yeah, 3 hours. With my New England going to New York for the Jets. Obviously, we've got our predictions games. We've got Texans, Vikings, Broncos, Bucks, Packers, Titans, Giants, Browns, Bears, Colts. We've got Sunday late games, Panthers, Raiders, Dolphins, Seahawks, Ravens, Cowboys, Lions, Cards, Rams, Niners. Sunday night is Chiefs and Falcons. Monday night, we have a double of Jags at Bills and Washington at Bengals.
Can I just talk about this doubleheader?
Yes.
Why are they on at the same time? Go back to back. Last year, they had this doubleheader, and one of the games was possibly one of the best endings of the year.
Was that?
I know we saw it because everyone was watching the other game because they thought the game was over.
Yeah.
Do you know why they're not back to back? Because Goodell doesn't care about feelings. That's why.
Right, gentlemen. I'm going to have to start with you boys. You have got 2 incredibly injury-hit teams in LA and San Fran. It's going to be last man standing, isn't it, for you two?
Yeah, but I think we have a deeper roster than them.
Okay.
Yeah.
And also, because, we are missing a lot of players. They are missing a lot of players. Who do we still have? Oh, who do we still have? Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, John Jennings, Brock Purdy. They're still stars.
Ayuk. Mason's having a great game. We might even see some of our wide receivers like Cowell.
Jacob Cowing.
Yeah.
Johnny Bell. Who do they have? Who are their wide receivers? I mean, I'd probably know if I was a Rams fan. But
Tutu Atwell.
Is that
Morris Robinson and Jordan Whittington, the 3 that come to my name. Then you got the running back Kyron Williams and Blake Corum.
Yeah, but they seem to refuse to run the ball this season.
Yeah, which is really
weird. I just think we have a deeper roster than them at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, but we've seen preseason. All right, we saw how poor Brock Purdy was when his safety nets weren't there.
As Jack just said, Purdy was shook after the Vikes. But I mean, Brian Flores is one of the best defensive coordinators in the league. So
100%. Are you worried at all?
A bit, but not overly.
I'm worried. I'm worried that we'll come out of this game with more injuries because Kyle has a habit of just running players into the ground sometimes. So that's what I'm more worried about.
Yeah. The Kittle and Mooney Ward news is concerning if neither of them can suit up.
Considering that we don't really have depth at tight end.
Yeah, Eric Saubert's our second tight end, and we have no depth at corners. Our corners after Lenore and Mooney Ward is rookies.
Yeah,
definitely. Mr. Harris, you have got the Cowboys this weekend, so
game of the week.
Currently 0-2. How are you feeling going into this, mate? This is the
which Cowboys team are going to show up? You know, is it going to be the Cowboys team that blew out the Browns, or is it going to be the Cowboys team that got battered by the Saints? And again, which Ravens team is going to show up? Hopefully, a good one, because we need to get this 0-2 off our back. We need our first win of the season. But again, I've seen it on Ravens Reddit pages and Twitter on that. There's a very high chance that we could be 0-5. and that's terrifying. Not being funny, for a team as good as us, that shouldn't be happening. I think Harbaugh's seat has got to be warm, at least warm for now. I don't know. It could go anywhere. I don't know.
Hope it doesn't come down to a toe again.
Sean's making my night with these comments.
Motherfucker. Oi!
Hope it doesn't come down to a toe again.
Cut it out.
Love that.
See, when you teach people about NFL, they tend to stick a knife in. You know what I mean?
Oh, mate, it's all done. Right. My lot kick off tonight. Okay. So I'm going to read off some stats before, because I know you lot think we're going to get spanked.
Yeah,
okay?
you've already told me these stats, and I still think you're going to get spanked.
Right.
So
Jets, after tonight, have been playing 3 games in 11 days. Aaron Rodgers just come back from a massive injury, hardly played. Okay. They're on a short week as it is. Okay. So we mind you that. It's been 9 years plus since the New York Jets beat us in MetLife. Okay. Robert Saleh has never won a Thursday night game. I'm feeling optimistic about this. I'm not going to say we are going to go out and win this, because same as you, we're starting to get injuries stacked up. We've got 2 out on the O line, a couple out on the D line as well. So we're starting to get injuries stacking up well as now. But I do feel like it's not going to be an absolute blowout by the Jets at all, like people seem to think. I've seen a lot of things. I've seen a lot of these analysts who say it's a Jets win, and most of it's like 80% saying it's a Jets win, but I'm thinking it's a little bit more than that. I think it's a more 60-40 split. We get everything right, we can win. Get to Aaron Rodgers, we can win. Gentlemen?
My prediction is 26-20 Jets, with the Jets being in total control for the whole game and never looking in real peril of actually losing the game.
Fair enough. Are there any other games that really go, ooh, can't wait to see that one?
Honestly,
Yeah,
I think the game of the week is Ravens-Cowboys comprehensively.
Yeah.
Really? See, I think it's
Yeah.
Texans. I think it's Texans-Vikings. I'm
Yeah,
literally
same.
thinking, ooh, I think that's going to be a really good game. 2 explosive teams. Sam Darnold has shown he's a good quarterback these last couple of weeks. You know, he not rubbing salt in your wound or anything, but he did take past your defense, and you are a good defense. And I just think it's going to be a good game. And, you know, it depends if Joe Mixon can suit up or not, but I think it's going to be a really good game. Really, really good game. Mr. Harris?
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, I think there's a lot of good games this weekend. Ravens, Cowboys, Texans, and Vikings. Yeah, it's going to be a shootout, both of them, I think. When we roll on to Shano's specials fairly shortly, I will obviously give a bit more of a detailed account of these games.
We'll talk about the Monday games on our Monday show, Tuesday show. So they're either about to play or going to happen. So, yeah, let's roll on to our Thursday special of Shano's specials.
Thank you very much, Mr. OBH. Right, so yeah, I'm going to start off with the Paddy Power. We're going to be using Paddy Power today. Obviously, please gamble responsibly. There's odds tonight on the Jets and Patriots matchup. I have had it up. Give me 2 seconds. Just having a little technical difficulties here. Yeah, so Breece Hall and Ramondre Stevenson both to score a touchdown in the Jets-Pats game is now 3-1. So for those who don't really understand gambling, it is £1 on to get £3 back. Baby?
Yeah.
Spot on. So yeah, I mean, Baby called that to my attention before the beginning of the show. I thought it was a great market, and I genuinely think that may happen tonight. So yeah, if you fancy a little flutter on that game tonight, that would be my recommendation.
I'm on that if anybody cares.
I'm going to say yeah. See, I'm not being funny. He's the richest man I know.
Although saying that, if you're Baby Hope's friend, don't follow his advice.
I've also got one for the Texans Vikings as well. I think anytime touchdown scorers, this game is going to be mental. It's going to be anytime touchdown scorers everywhere. I'd say at least both teams have at least 3, 4, 5 players that can score at any one time. So for argument's sake, Justin Jefferson 13-10, Nico Collins 13-10, Stephon Diggs 8-5, Tank Dell 15-8. Any of those would be.
Jordan Addison?
Jordan Addison is 11-4. 11-4, which I think is decent as well. Those are decent prices for any time touchdown scorers. You go 4 quarters for them to cross the line with the ball in their hand. So
Sorry, I thought Jordan Addison was out.
No, he's back this week.
Is he back? I thought he was out. Okay, my mistake.
I was going to say, so they're very interesting markets to take a look at. And we mentioned the Cardinals-Lions game earlier on. The Cardinals have played really, really well really recently. Kyler has looked like a different animal. Kyler looked like his form of old. They are 6-5 to beat the Lions. The Lions are 4-6. So I wouldn't mind a sneaky fiver on the Cardinals. See, I really think that they've got the skills and the form to invite the Lions at their house and take them to school. I genuinely think 6-5. That is. Sorry, Kel.
Oh, nice. Okay, gentlemen, do we have any other things we want to talk about before we say goodnight?
Nope.
No, I think we've yammered on for long enough.
So just the usual. Thank the new viewers and listeners for tuning in. We greatly appreciate all your support.
Most definitely. So that looked like that was up your nose, then, parents. So, as always, you will be able to download this episode off your podcast listening devices, Spotify, Amazon, Apple, wherever you get your podcast from. Tomorrow morning, we will be back, of course, Monday night to review this week's actions. I'm going to be a year older. I'm probably going to have no voice and no hearing because I'm going to a gig tomorrow night, so that's going to be epic.
Me too.
Ladies and gentlemen, good night and stay safe all.